Hola, ¿hay alguien ahí? ¿Yo me quedé afuera o ustedes? Hola, hola.
You hear us?
Hola,
I'm listening. Elisa, ¿estás ahí?
sí, aquí estoy.
Es que me perdí.
Okay. So just for a moment, let's stop and recognize that stillness, which is you, stillness and who you are is one and the same, is already present, especially if the mind is not looking for a particular experience. Stillness is just another word for awareness, which is in the background, aware. When a thought appears, it is able to be seen because of this awareness, which is you. This awareness does not move. It doesn't appear or disappear. Just thought appear and disappear within this field of awareness. This awareness is your true self, who you are. It's already you. You're not going to gain you. Just to see that the notion that you are a separate entity, that you're the one who's thinking, the thinking mind is you, has to be realized that that's not true. Just notice this subtle presence of awareness, aliveness. Sense of peace. Thought might appear or disappear. Words can be heard, yet it's all in the field of awareness, an underlying presence that is aware of itself by itself. This is how you step out of the mind, the thinking mind, because you are not the thinking mind. Your awareness, when the attention is not immersed in thoughts, in the thinking process. So if thoughts appear and it grab hold the attention, then just watch the thoughts and the recognition of it, the thoughts dissolve into awareness. And until the next thought appears, you remain thoughtless. And when the thought appears, as awareness, you are thoughtless as well. Don't be interested in the thoughts. Be interested in the background. Be interested in the gaps between a thought that disappears until the next thought that appears. Be so present that the presence rises, the presence shines through. Do you have any questions or anything you'd like to share before we continue where we stopped last time? Notice that even when speech is happening or listening is happening, you don't lose yourself. You're always aware. Even when you think you lost that awareness, the attention is absorbed in thought, that's all. Just recognize that. And the attention just withdraws from being absorbed in thought itself.
I want to share something. To the last time to talk, I'm supposed I'm supposed to commit it for stop 3 weeks. The last week I can't stop nothing. Was so really strange, and I can see some things about that because I'm stopped for 2 weeks, and uh, and so really uh, good for me because I'm feel the presence many times in the day, and when I stop for a minute, only for a minute, for 20 times, for example, in the day, was so really present all the time. It's like for the first time in my life, I can stop wherever I want, wherever I need, wherever you can. Always the present is there, but it's like you don't know, and with that was really revealed. But was I supposed to was really good with that, but in the last week the mind was like, no, I don't want, I want, no, I don't never do that again because I don't want. I say, why? Because it's so strange because I was really happy about that, and today is no, no, I don't go anymore.
Let's just so to see. The mind is never happy with awareness. It doesn't like awareness. It's not interesting for the mind, awareness. For the mind, what's interesting, it's what it's telling itself. So then it says, oh, stopping is really good. That's good. I really like it. And then it reacts. It says, no, I don't want to. Forget that. That's not good. So I heard somebody says, okay, fire the mind. Tell him, I don't want you to come to job anymore. I'm not interested that you will come to work. And then the mind says, okay, I go. A day later, he comes back. I say, why are you coming back? He said, you didn't fire me. It's really important what I do. You cannot survive without me. I need to come back to work. I fired you. No, no, I'm not fired. I don't understand this. I'm going to stay. That's how the mind comes back in. And then if you start give it attention, it will convince itself why it needs to stay. You just have to question it. Okay, this
That's
voice,
it. Sorry.
this voice in the head is me? Is this one who is talking? Am I going to listen to it, or I'm going to listen to who I am? And who I am is absolutely silent. So I better start to put the attention back on what is, when the thought ends, what remains. Or if I just look at the empty space, means I don't focus the attention on the thoughts. What is there other than myself? And then this notion that I am the one who's thinking and I am the mind start to go or get weaker. It start to realize that it is out of job.
And after, sorry. And after that was I evolved, no, because I see how the mind tell to the mind, no, you wait, no, you are so young, you can go deep when you have 50. Why now? It's like no, no, because the before is only after. But for this time was like a, you are so young. You have 20 years more for go deep. Why now? Why? You are not happy right now. It's like why you need to go so deep? You have some knowledge. You have some relaxing things. Why? No, and and sometimes I see the mind tell to the mind, no, something like after the World Cup. It's the World Cup. Why you go deep in the World Cup? No, no, no. You wait. It's no problem. You can wait. But the funny is, I know to the time is in the mind, but how the mind always make put the time in the perspective. No, it's only no after the World Cup. No, no, you are so young. Why you have 20 years more? Why now? This is also really revealed for me. The
Yes.
time.
Because that's what the mind does. It imagines there is a future, overlooking that all there is in life is the present moment. All there is, life is just happening now. It's not happening yesterday. Yesterday is just a memory in the mind as a thought. It's not going to happen tomorrow because tomorrow is just another projection of the mind from the past, just another imaginary thought. And the thought, which is the memory of the past or imagination of the future, appears in the present moment. And it actually appears in the presence of who you are. Life is happening only right now, in the present moment. So if you come back to the present and you realize, wait a minute, this mind that thinks there is 20 more years is hallucinating, is dreaming. There's only now. So what am I fixing the attention right now? And then this is how you bring it back. You bring the attention to the present moment because the personality, the ego, that thinks that it is the self, is actually, it appears to be real based on past and future. So when it thinks I have 20 more years, it identifies with the conceptual image of a physical body that is called Gerardo, nothing more. It is imagines it is a separate entity, which is a conceptual image in the mind itself. Yet, you are that presence of awareness that sees that conceptual image. You are that presence of awareness in the background that sees these thoughts process happening in the mind. And when the thought process happens, the attention is not absorbed in this conceptual image. It rests within awareness as yourself. So this is really, really good to see. And all you do when something like this happens, and that's normal, is that you start again. Okay, I hear what you say. It's very nice. I'm not interested right now. And you just start again. And this is how, that's what it takes. It takes for you to stop believing what the mind is telling itself, and it appears like it's speaking to you. No, the mind is not talking to you because you do not understand the language of the mind. Your awareness only knows its language, which is awareness itself, silence. So when I pay attention to the voice in the head, that the way it speaks, then I think I understand that language because I am the voice in the head. And I point to you, you're not the voice in the head. And you already know that you are the presence of awareness. Presence of awareness doesn't listen to these thoughts. So if you put the attention on awareness, or stop being interested of what the mind is saying by hearing the voice out of habit speaking, and you ask, okay, without this thought, who am I? Am I this voice in the head? And you don't give an answer from the memory because that would be again another thought. You just remain, and the presence of awareness is already here. You do not gain the stillness which is you. You already this stillness. Knowing this enables you awareness to come back right away instantaneously to you. And this is the stopping. And you start again. That's all. Remember, all the practices are just to reveal the illusion of the mind. Awareness requires no practice whatsoever. It doesn't know any practice, yes? So the practice is to see the insanity of the mind, how crazy the mind is, and how many stories the mind is telling itself, because basically the whole mind is a story from the past, history. Yeah, this is what you learn in school. History, you learn about the past. If you learn about the mind, you will see that it's all stories of the past. Nothing fresh. The freshness is in the beingness of who you are. And this freshness is available always to you because it is you. Any practice is a movement within you. So that's the story that you share is so beautiful. I'm so grateful to hear what you share. And if other people would have the opportunity to listen to this call, they might appreciate, because if they look closely, they would see that their mind is talking itself out of yourself by fixing the attention on the thoughts it's telling itself. And this is a gift to see that, because the moment you see it, in that instant you wake up from the dream that the mind is dreaming, basically. It is dreaming. I have 20 years from now. I would be older. This is all it imagines, all of that. Yes? Yes, it is referring to the conceptual image it has about the body, and even that it doesn't know how long the body is going to live. And who you are is timeless being. Yes? So thank you. Really, thank you for sharing this. This is a gift. Just start again. Anything for you, Elisa, or we start reading?
For me, it happened the same. I was with a lot of visit in my house and a lot of work and things to do. So every day I try to concentrate, as we said. But at the end of the day, I realized that I couldn't, and every day it was like frustrating because once again I couldn't. So I decided, okay, I will let this uh, time finish of visit, and then I will start again. And only yesterday I start again with the stopping 5 minutes every 2 hours, and I realized that perhaps most of the time I am like being one with the thought, like being the one who is thinking, and suddenly I realized that okay, but who is who is listening this voice? Or and then it's like I move backwards and I separate separate from the thought, and then I okay who who see who sees this image, or who listen this thought like this. But and then it's like I remain. Uh, I don't know, like I don't know what is next. So uh, I fix the attention on the breathing, or on the, yes, mostly on the breathing. And then perhaps I see if one thought appears, and I can discriminate it. Some other times, when I realize I am again being one with the thought, and then I start again. Like, when I realize, okay, I say, okay, who is watching this thought, or who is, uh, yes, uh, most of the time the work is like catching over and over uh, how the mind is uh, again taking control, and then suddenly I realize of that, and that discriminate.
So the intention, which is a projection back into stopping every day, start again.
Excuse me?
Your intention is to stop again every day.
Yes.
One of the things that it will enable to see is that when you don't follow what you set, the mind was setting to itself, imagined. If you stop judging it, that means you don't dwell in the past.
That means what?
You don't dwell. You're not going back into the past, judging yourself. Oh, I didn't do what I imagined I have to do. Yet it doesn't make you lazy and stop dropping it completely. You stay with the same intention and you start again. And you begin again and you start again. Every moment, because every moment is the first moment anyway. And judging what didn't happen last moment, it's over anyway. Yet, if the mind is mature enough, it doesn't stop, continuing with the same intention, yet without judging and without dropping it either. Yes? Means continue with stopping with the same intention, which again, intention is just a projection, imaginary. And life is happening just the way it is, yet the direction is to stop and stop and stop and stopping the thinking process by either questioning it, directing it to the attention to the breath or the body sensation, the inner body, which is energy, sensation, and just hold the attention there. Means being so present that the presence within you rises and reveals itself. And then that you realize that you are that presence. You're no other than this presence itself. And this presence is a sense-felt experience. It is an awareness that knows itself. It's a knowingness that it is you because it's no other than you. This is really key because then you realize that practice doesn't apply to awareness. Because any practice would be a limitation, which always will be seen by the light of awareness. The light of awareness will enable the one that imagines that it is practice to be seen and that enables to see that what is seen is not the seer, that what is seen is not you, you're much deeper than that, behind it.
Okay. So yes, I will start again with the uh, stopping this 5 minutes. I also had this the sensation that at the end of the 5 minutes, it's like the work just began, and now the 5 minutes have finished, and it's like I need more time to keep working.
Look within. When there is motion, if you can recognize yourself, it's like when there is motion, notice when your attention completely is absorbed out, and in a way that you are absorbed in thought process, or when the attention is not on the thought process, or the movement of the body happens, or talking is happening. Just notice the difference between the two. When the attention is completely absorbed in thought, and when the attention is withdrawn from thought and still action can happen, or listening can happen. And that will enable to open these glimpses of yourself as awareness. So it doesn't have to be only by stopping. The stopping is just a metaphor of stopping being absorbed in the thinking process, stopping being absorbed in the voice in the head over and over, talking itself to itself incessantly on useless matters. Watch that, because the moment you watch, the attention is absorbed in thought process, you come out of it. The attention is withdrawn from it. The moment you're not aware that the attention is absorbed in the thought process, you think you are the thinking mind and the process itself. Very good. This is very, very good. It's again, where we stopped last time, it was Annamalai Swami was talking about self-inquiry must be done continuously. It doesn't work if you regard it as a part-time activity. You may be doing something that doesn't hold your interest or attention, so you think, I will do some self-inquiry instead. This is never going to work. You may go 2 steps forward when you practice, but you go 5 steps backward when you stop your practice and go back to your worldly affairs. You must have a lifelong commitment to establish yourself in the self. And that's the essence of it, is having a lifelong commitment to establish yourself in the self, which is a paradox. I'm already the self. So I establish myself in the self means it's the false self start to rest within my true self. Yes? Because then it appears like there are 2 selves. Yeah? You must have a lifelong commitment to establish yourself in the self. So who am I? Am I myself or the self? Myself, I thought it's me. The self is truly me, yet it's not a thought. It is who I am. It is awareness, pure consciousness, stillness, silence. That's why it doesn't matter, you start again. No matter what happens, one start again. That's how the mind gets weaker, means stop giving it too much attention. Stop giving it too much importance. Stop giving the mind meaning. That's enabled to stop believing the mind to be me. And then he continues, your determination to succeed must be strong and firm. And ye should manifest as continuous, not a part-time effort. Continuous because awareness is continuously, presently aware. It is everlasting awareness. The more you are, the less you are interested in the thinking process, the more the attention rests as awareness continuously. And he continues, for many lifetimes you have been immersed in ignorance. You are habituated to it. All your deeply rooted beliefs, all your patterns of behavior reinforce ignorance and strengthen the hold it has over you. This ignorance is so strong, so deeply enmeshed in all your psychological structures. It takes a massive effort over a long period of time to break free from it. The habits and beliefs that sustain it have to be challenged again and again. Means there is no problem if you identify with a thought. The problem begins when it perpetuates. It means it starts to evolve into like, you go into a whole dream. This has to be seen too. And then the movement, dreaming, gets cut shorter and shorter. So when the identification is seen with the thought, it dissolves. In the beginning, the mind is afraid to identify with the thought. This fear is identification. Yeah, it's a trick of the mind. It says, oh, I don't want to identify with the thought. It identified with this idea. So it perpetuates the identification like that. Once you see it, okay, I don't want to identify with that thought. This is just another thought. This is another identity that I take in that moment. So when there is identification with the thought and there is a bodily sensation, then you just look into it without perpetuating or seeing it, knowing that you're the one who is seeing, not the one who is identifying. So if I'm upset, how do I know that I am upset? What is it that knows in that moment when it appears? This knowingness is me, aware. That way, this identification disappears, which is false, is not being perpetuated, not evolved, and I remain. This weakens the false identification. Also, the more you experience the presence of awareness, you start to derive, it's like Do you understand what is the word derive? Derive means if I squeeze a lemon, the lemon juice, the lemon is the derivatives, is derived from the lemon. Yes? It is out from the lemon, it's the juice. The more you experience awareness as yourself, because it is you, you start to derive your identity from awareness and not from the thinking mind. And the more you derive the identity from awareness, which is you, then when the mind identifies itself to be you, easily it is seen. And when something happens to the mind and it says, hey, I'm losing myself, my sense, I am losing myself, you start to realize this is the mind deriving its identity from the thoughts, from the ideas and belief it has about itself, not from you. Then you're not afraid of losing just a thought, a concept, an idea, because you do not derive your existence from the mind, the thinking mind. This is why over and over I point that you start to recognize that awareness and you are one and the same. They're not separate. This realization, this recognition is really important. And not understanding conceptually, because that would be just in the mind again. It's to directly experience it. And if there are glimpses of it, this is an awakening of awareness awakens to itself. These recognitions, this realization, the more they open, the knowing rises within you that you are that presence of awareness, that you're no other than that awareness. All the rest is just it's a made up mind thinking, imagining to be me. It takes a massive effort over a long period of time to break free from it. He was talking about deeply enmeshed, the ignorance, enmeshed in all your psychological structures and beliefs and patterns of behavior. The truth is that it doesn't take a long time to break free from it. The moment you recognize that you are that presence of awareness, you recognize you're already free from it. The reason why he might point it is that the vasanas, when they come, I think I'm a separate entity. I think I'm a separate self. I think that I am the one who is thinking the thought, and therefore I am the thinker, and then I am the experiencer of pleasure and pain because I am a physical body. And that's where time begins. So in that time, it appears there is a long time. Yet it takes no time, no effort, nor practice to directly experience who you are. It is an immediate presence, immediate stillness that cannot be created, nor achieved by the thinking process. It is here right now. And he continues, the habits and beliefs that sustain it have to be challenged again and again. That means when the thought appears to be real and your attention on it, you have to question, who is seeing it? Who am I without this thought? Within who this thought appear? These are just examples how it is challenged. Is this thought real? I wonder after this thought, what would be the next thought? And you wait until the next thought appears, you remain presently aware. And now this is where we continue. Ignorance is ignorance of the self. And to remove it, self-awareness is required. Let's look at it. He points, ignorance is ignorance of the self. Means not knowing who I am. Not having the realization that I am that I am. That I am and that which is aware is I am. I am awareness, which is aware of itself as I am. And we're not talking thinking process. Ignorance is ignorance of the self, and to remove it, self-awareness is required. Means if there is no recognition of this awareness as myself, then I think, and the only recognition I have is that the thinking process and the voice in the head and whatever ideas the mind has and believes, I'm the one who's having it. And these beliefs, ideas, and concepts are part of me. So I am it. And if one cannot step out of it, then the mind is only trapped in its own ideas, concepts, and beliefs. And that remains only intellectual. And intellectually, you cannot know who you are. You can only be who you are when you step out from the thinking process. When you come to an awareness of the self, ignorance vanishes. Means it's instantaneously. If you don't lose contact with the self, ignorance can never arise. Means if the attention rests in awareness as awareness itself, even when the false identification appears, it doesn't grab or catches the attention. Then it just dissolves into the presence of awareness. Yet, if it's not like that, and it grabs the attention, the ignorance, the thoughts, then what is needed is just to notice that, first of all, and not get lost in it. And if one get lost in it, it's okay, because it's not you that is lost in it. Awareness is never affected by thoughts. It's just that you think you are that thinking process, these images, these concepts, this voice in the head. Question it. The question reveals or stop this thought process. Yet don't question too much incessantly, that it turns to be that your attention again is only the mental. Is look for the gaps. After the question, before another thought appears. When you listen, watch if there are thoughts, or what is emanating there, shining through. Just explore this experience within. We're going to stop soon. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to share, you're more than welcome. And we'll pick up from where we stopped today. I put a mark so we can continue. And that way we'll form the illusion of continuity. I heard a nice sentence, which is nice. It's what you're looking for is where you're looking from. What you're looking for is where you're looking from. The mind is looking for, and you're looking from it. Start to establish in the knowing that you're always looking from awareness, and the mind is looking for awareness. Yet the mind does not know awareness. It's like, sorry, no entrance, because it disappears into awareness. If there's nothing for you to share, that's beautiful too. We can stop for now. I'm very grateful for being able to hear these words for the first time. And
Thanks to you. Thanks to you. Always.
Thank you very much.